Edson Barboza versus Paul Felder just took place in the co-main event of UFC 242 Abu Dhabi, and it was a great fight. A really great fight, okay? Phenomenal fight, everything it lived up to. Phenomenal performance. A lot of people call it robbery. Please, guys, can you calm down with the word robbery? Because it doesn't make any sense when the fight is very close and could go either way. Just because you thought someone should have won and it went to the other person in a razor close fight does not make it a robbery, okay? I thought Yoel Romero clearly beat Paulo Costa. I rewatched the fight without Joe Rogan's commentary and without the commentary in general, and I saw quite clearly, hey, Costa won. It was close, but I can see now that Costa definitely won, okay? Edson Barboza won round 1. I gave him round 1, okay? It was a close round. It could have gone to Felder. I gave it to Edson Barboza. Round 2, Edson Barboza and Paul Felder had a very tough round, and I think this is the deciding round. I don't agree with the judges going for 30-27, 30-27 on both different ways. I think it could have been that. I think it was more likely a 2-1 on rounds, but which round do you give to which guy? Paul Felder in the first round was pressuring forward the entire time. There was one strike in that round, okay? Edson Barboza had one more strike than Paul Felder in that first round. And you know what Paul Felder did? He controlled the entire octagon. He marched Edson Barboza down. He pushed Edson Barboza up against the cage. Racked up about a minute of cage control in the clinch. Okay? That means something. Does that mean more than one shot? Who knows? Who knows? That's for the judges to decide. That round can go either way. Round 2. Edson Barboza and Paul Felder. The round's even. Edson Barboza takes Paul Felder down in a surprise takedown. A surprise takedown out of nowhere. Paul Felder's not training for that. Paul Felder gets taken down, ends up on his back. What happens? Felder does nothing. Felder does nothing. I mean, no, not Felder. Barboza does nothing with the takedown. And Felder slashes his face open with elbows and mashes his face with elbows and then catches him in a close armbar. That's in. The armbar is in. If Barboza loses his position, he was like rear naked choking nothing just to not give the armbar away. Okay? If he loses that position, the armbar is in and the fight is over and there's nothing he can do about it. What do you favour more? Edson Barboza getting a takedown or Paul Felder slicing up his face and catching an armbar that was this close to being in? That round can go either way. Round 3 was clearly for Paul Felder. I can see the fight going either way. I remember saying at the end of the fight, I thought, maybe Barboza won, but I could see it going to Felder, so I wouldn't mind if they did that. It'll probably be a split decision. It was a split decision. It went to Paul Felder. I'm not angry. You guys shouldn't be either. It's actually better for the UFC that Paul Felder won because, I mean, if Edson Barboza wins, you're talking about the two top dogs in the division at the moment are Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov. Edson's lost to both of them. Where's the excitement in that? You know what I'm saying? Paul Felder's a new task for both of them. And after this fight, I think Paul Felder's a good fighter. I don't think he's going to be champ. I don't think he's going to be beating anyone in the top 5. A good fight for him, though, that I would love to see is the winner of Ally Quinter versus Dan Hooker as the co-main event of a fight night. If it's Ally Quinter, maybe they can do a main event of a fight night. But the winner of Dan Hooker versus Ally Quinter, which I think is going to be Dan Hooker by KO later in the rounds with the knee up the middle because Ally Quinter droops down when he throws his shots, will fight Paul Felder next. And then with the winner of Justin Gaethje versus Donald Cerrone, who the fuck knows what's going to happen? No one has any idea what's going to happen right now. It's a massive logjam. We'll see what McGregor does. I think he should fight Poirier. Khabib's obviously fighting Ferguson. Let's find out. Let's find out. Paul Felder won, man. Stop calling robberies. Because when you call robberies, it's like these new age people in America, these SJWs in America, call him racist. You know what I'm saying? You use the term so much, it loses its meaning. You know what I mean? You discredit the real racists if you called like people racist for saying, hey, I went to Africa, I didn't enjoy my holiday. Racist! Like, it ruins the real meaning of racism. And that's the same thing with robberies. You call it for everything, for close fights that can go either way, that you disagree with. You start taking away from the real robberies of sports, like in boxing, and in some cases in MMA as well. where there are real clear-cut losses that someone should have gotten, but they don't get it. You know what I mean? Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Paul Felder should go on and fight the winner of Dan Hooker versus Al Quinta in a fight night, co-main event or main event. Whatever he wants to do. Depends how big the fight's going to be. And for Edson Barboza, people recall him retirement. I don't think he should retire whatsoever. I don't think he should retire. If it's the end of his contract, he should go to Bellator. Because let's face it, Edson Barboza has nothing else. It's not like he's set himself up in the Brazilian media scene to do something. It's not like he's got this or that or this. Edson Barboza, if it's the end of your contract, go to Bellator. You know what? Go to Bellator. And when Douglas Lima beats Rory McDonald, which I think he will, fight Douglas Lima in Bellator. Lima versus Barboza in Brazil, in Bellator, would be a fucking ridiculous fight for the welterweight Bellator belt. Okay? And if you have got fights left on your contract, hey, take another fight. Fight a guy who's on the come up. You know? Fight Charles Oliveira in Brazil. Done. There you go. That's what you need. Right there. Like and subscribe. Click the button there. Goodbye.